I'm Leah Lawrence.
And I'm her husband, Mitch Lawrence.
And you are listening to the Southern Spirits Podcast, where I regale my husband with Southern stories of the macabre, creepy, and strange.
And I drink.
So what are you drinking tonight, Mitchell?
We have two wonderful offerings tonight, Leah. Thank you for asking. That was very sweet of you. Our beer tonight is Citrus Redacted, brewed and canned by Westbrook Brewing I always fuck that up. Brewed and canned by Westbrook Brewing Company in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. There we go.
Brook.
Yeah, I fucked up with It's 8.5% alcohol by volume. Let's read the can. This beer combines three of our favorite things: juicy, fresh squeezed hops, zesty and bright citrus fruits, and a cryptic name. Enjoy! And that's with an exclamation point. I don't know if you could hear that. What I have to say is, okay, first of all, you're making a face. What's wrong?
Just enjoy!
Yeah, I thought you were about the juicy part, but, you know.
Not my favorite word, not gonna lie, but it's okay.
Well, this beer is an Imperial IPA, and you can tell it's got that rich flavor on the back end of it. It's, as we can tell, it's 8.5%, so it's really strong, but it's very citrusy, packs a good punch, and it's very smooth and full of flavor, which I don't normally get out of Imperials, because they're normally just high alcohol content, so they're sweeter and richer and kind of heavy feeling. But this one's really, really good. I like it a lot. Leah, did you like it when you tried it?
Not something that I would order for myself, but as far as Imperial goes, it's more balanced because of all the citrus that's in it.
Yeah.
Once again, not something that I would pick for myself, because that's just not what I like flavor profile wise, but it's drinkable because of the citrus, because I like more of a citrus heavy beer. So
I've already had one of these because I like it a lot, and that explains the slurring so far. It's been interesting. This beer gets a 9.5 out of 10. It's real good, and I will try to get some more of it in my personal time when I can, because I like it a lot. Our shot in the dark for the night: Climax Fire No. 32. This is cinnamon spice moonshine. I feel like I should say that off the top. It's pot distilled and bottled by Climax VA, I guess that's Virginia Distillery in Fletcher, North Carolina. 40% alcohol by volume. Let's read the bottle. Tim Smith's original pot distilled recipe. Bold, hot, and smooth as a volunteer fire chief in Climax, Virginia, Tim created this spirit as a tribute to firefighters across the country. End quote. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm really not sure if the name of the distillery is Climax Virginia Distillery, or if it's Climax VA Distillery.
I've only ever heard it referred to as Climax, but I don't know.
Right. Well, that's just what it says here, but it's in North Carolina. So anyway, this is fan-freaking-tastic. I was so worried when I was getting some cinnamon moonshine, but this is so easy to drink. It's smooth. It does everything right. It goes well with everything I've tried so far, which has been one thing, but it goes well with it. Really, really well. 10 out of 10 on ice. Just by itself, it's really, really easy to drink. 10 out of 10 with ginger ale. So it gets a 10 out of 10 overall, Leah, and I'm real excited to get you to try a shot of this.
Yeah, I sipped a little bit of it. It gives me a lot more of a big red gum flavor as opposed to like an atomic fireball. You know what I mean? Like there's different.
It's not hot. It's a sweet
levels
cinnamon.
Of sweet and cinnamon. It is. It is like any cinnamon is a little bit spicy, but like this is much more on the like sweet cinnamon side than some of the other cinnamon flavored things that we've had before.
Yeah, and it's so good, and I'm so happy. And that is it for the alcohols, Leah. We have finished the alcohol section, so what are we going to do now?
We're going to go directly into announcing that we have a brand new Possum Passo member.
New Possum Passo. Hold on, I don't have the soundboard prepared, so let's get a mosquito. We can have a lightning strike. And you can also have
We have plenty of the lightning strikes on its own outside natural.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a thunderstorm down here. There's a fax coming in. New patron. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks. Welcome to the Possum Passel, Holly. Yay!
Hi, Holly. Thank you for your money.
Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. We will be sending out those stickers shortly. We have several that we need to be sending out, and one T-shirt, I think. So we're going to get on that tomorrow morning. get that taken care of and sent out for all of you. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. You're what keeps our business up and running, the podcast, etc. Thank you so much. And if anybody else wants to become a member of the Possum Passel, you are more than welcome to do so at patreon.com/Southern Spirits Podcast. Don't feel obligated because it's hard times and I understand. Yeah. So if you can't pitch in, that's perfectly fine. The other ways you can help us out is just like share a podcast with a friend that you think would like not hate us. That'd be great.
Yeah, thanks.
Like if you've got someone that you know would super hate us, like just don't tell them. But anybody else, if they're cool,
no, tell them. I want
along.
those motherfuckers to listen. I got something to say.
Yeah, just share us with a friend or a neighbor, a relative if you've got chill relatives. You know.
Yeah.
Pass us along. It doesn't have to be a monetary contribution, but thank you so much to those of you that do monetarily support us. You're what makes this show happen. southernspirits.com. Nope. Patreon.com/Southern Spirits Podcast.
Man.
Damn, it's really hard to keep up these URLs, but anyway.
I agree. And also, I just want to say, like Leah was saying, if you can't give, don't worry about it because, I mean, we're just going to drink the money anyway. Like, it's going straight to booze.
We don't just buy, don't let Mitchell fool you. We don't just buy liquor with this. We also buy equipment for the podcast. We buy, advertising for the podcast. We buy, server space to host our podcasts on, etc. So thank you so much for supporting our podcast.
Yes, it's very nice of you to do so. And I promise to drink all of it that you've given to us.
All right, well, that's fun.
Oh, God, there it is. Oh, well, again, thank y'all so much. We really appreciate it. And if I can get more citrus redacted out of it, I'm in.
Well, you can't. That's going to be a personal beer money.
That'll be personal money, but I'm saying more stuff like, if I can experience more new things like citrus redacted. That's what I was getting at.
All right, well, we've got plenty of those forthcoming.
We still have like 15 beers left in the living room, so.
Yeah, when you can only get out occasionally because of, safer at home rules and, you stock up when you can, so there you go.
Oh, it's going to be a fun couple months.
Huzzah. All right, well, are you ready for our sassy Southern saying of the evening?
I sure am.
All right, well, here it is.
Yay. Okay.
He couldn't pour piss out of a boot if you wrote the directions on the heel.
Okay, that's funny, I guess. But my question with that one, like I've heard that one before, but my question is, why are we pissing in people's shoes? Like, are we hoping that it soaks in and it smells, or are we hoping that they immediately put their foot in it and go, ugh, my foot's all pissy?
I think it's the second one. I was very concerned as a child about, like, anything that had pee related to it. Like, there are a lot of, like, don't piss in my boot and tell me it's raining, or
no, don't piss on my back and tell me it's raining. Don't piss on my boot and tell me I didn't step in piss, is what you were looking for.
Any of the pee metaphors kind of got me as a kid because I always was like, why?
Yeah.
Who's peeing on you?
Yeah, why are people peeing on things? Don't piss into the wind. Like, all that shit. Like, fucking shit, man. I don't understand.
There's a lot of colloquialisms about pee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just very concerning for me as a child. And then, like, I got to college and I realized what Pornhub was, and I was like, oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I see where those I see where all those sayings I grew up with came from. My parents were fucking freaky. Don't piss on my hair and tell me it doesn't turn me on. Right. That was another one.
I'm afraid I missed that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Don't piss on me unless it's in the shower. Right. There are all these, all these classic sayings. I agree, Leah. I'm with you.
Oh, gross. Like, no shame in your kink game, y'all, but gross.
I say do what makes you happy.
Exactly.
Just don't expect me to be okay with it.
With a consenting partner or by yourself. Yeah. Or partners. I don't care. As long as everybody's into it.
If y'all got a circle of 9 people all peeing on each other, feel free.
But bring the Febreze. It could get weird.
Well, usually pee's not that bad, but, Yeah, I mean, if you serve a nice dinner with some asparagus or something.
There's that much volume of pee, it's going to smell like ammonia,
Yeah.
so.
It's always astounded me just how quickly your pee starts to smell like asparagus. You know what I mean? Like, you have a bite of asparagus, like, well, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. Jesus Christ, it fucking reeks in here.
I've honestly never noticed that problem.
Well, that's because you don't have a great sense of smell.
I don't.
Because of the cat. But it is fucking instantaneous. Like, it's in and fucking out immediately. And it is the grossest thing.
I don't know that it could chemically react that quickly.
Okay. I guess my life has been a lie.
I'm interested in...
Leah, don't feed me asparagus and tell me my pee doesn't smell.
It's a new one.
Yeah.
No, I'm just really interested in the chemical reaction as to why your pee smells. I wonder if SciShow has like a video about it. That has to be one of the questions that has been asked before.
They did that one on farts a while back, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So there's got to be a pee one.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
If anybody out there knows about why asparagus pee is a thing.
Yeah. Let us know. And do not link us to Pornhub when you do so.
Yeah, seriously, please don't.
Or do. Right. I don't care. I'll watch it. It could be one of those things where like the actual entertaining part is on Pornhub, but it's not a porn video, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I still remember, because I love this movie, when The Big Sick came out, Pornhub was the one place you could find it for free on the internet. I swear it was on there.
Why?
I don't know. Like I didn't watch it, but I had seen that on Reddit or something. Like, you know, Pornhub is currently streaming The Big Sick for free, and everybody else is watching it in the theater. And anyway, yeah, that's a real thing, Leah.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was on Pornhub, but it was a good movie.
Because people just found a way to do it.
It's
you know?
Weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
So there might be informational asparagus pee videos on Pornhub, is what I'm saying.
I'm going to check YouTube first.
I'd start with Pornhub.
It's because you're nasty.
Yeah, because if whether I find it or not, I'm going to have a good time. End up on pee videos.
All right,
which I'm not into, but, you know, I'll check it out.
Let's move on from the pee and the porn, and let's move on to our very first story of the evening. Are you ready?
Yep, sure am.
We're
less excited about this than I was about the pee videos.
We're going to do a fun haunting in South Carolina.
Okay.
And it's fun because the ghost is not a human spirit. The ghost is of a dog.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
So we're going to be talking about the ghost hound of Goshen. Goshen? I'm not sure. I'm going to call it Goshen.
I think it's Goshen.
Goshen?
Yeah, I think it's Goshen.
Okay.
But, you know, we'll find out. Somebody will let us know.
Here we go. All right. So there is a road in it's Newberry County, South Carolina, and it is Buncombe Road between Ebenezer Church and Goshen Hill in Union County. It's on the county line between those two counties in South Carolina. Anyway, it's this street, and there is a very well-known ghost in the area, a specter, if you will, called the Ghost Hound of Goshen. And it's been seen by a lot of people, recorded by a lot of people to have been seen in the area. And so this is the Ghost Hound's story.
Okay. I'm excited about it.
So the Ghost Hound, there are a couple of different stories as to how it got to be a ghost in the first place. But the one that most of the websites that I looked up agreed upon was this. So this dog was the pet of a peddler, right? So a door-to-door salesman of miscellaneous items, you know? They would come by, they'd have fabric and, sewing notions and hair dye and just a selection of goods that they would carry door-to-door in the towns to try to get people to purchase, you know. So this peddler had this adorable little doggo, and they were making their way through the area in around 1850 or so. And he was doing a pretty good business, and everybody in the town kind of knew who he was. He was the peddler. He came through the area pretty frequently, you know, on a regular schedule. So everybody kind of knew who he was, and they knew his dog, and, you know, it was just a sort of normal peddler-town relationship, I guess.
Okay.
But unfortunately, there was a man in the town who was found murdered one day, and he was found murdered while the peddler was passing through. And most people believe that the peddler was just chosen as the scapegoat because no one could figure out who actually did it, or they knew who did it and didn't want to say, you know what I mean? So they pinned this whole situation on the peddler, who, according to our story, was innocent, and they sort of did a trial, but on like basic, it was a sham, most likely.
Sham trial?
It was just one of those like, he did it. Everybody agrees he did it. Let's hang him. So after the trial was over, he was in fact found guilty of this murder that he did not commit, and he was hanged by the whole community. Like, they all came out and watched him hang, and they were fine with it. The dog was not fine with it. He was very upset, obviously, because his person was no longer there, and that's really taxing on a dog.
I agree.
And so the dog basically went and stayed on his grave and wouldn't leave it, and he either died of starvation, or some of the stories that you'll see also say that the townspeople just hated the dog because the man killed someone and they like threw stones at him until he died. So depending on which story you're talking about, either the dog died of sadness and hunger, or the townsfolk stoned him to death. So I'm going hunger on this one, just for my own personal benefit. Okay?
Okay.
So after this dog died, they first started seeing the Hound of Goshen, the ghost hound. So Shot in the Dark.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Got to add on my free soundboard again.
Lord.
There we go. By the way, your Patreon money does not go to paying for apps that don't fucking suck. Sorry, everyone. It's strictly for beer. Go ahead, Leah.
I've been trying to get him to actually purchase an app that has a soundboard that's worth a damn, and he just thinks it's funny to not.
Yeah, I think it's part of the the innocence of the show. I think it's fun.
All right, you do you, babe.
Thank you. I shall.
Shot in the Dark. What color is the ghost hound?
Okay.
Is it A, white? Is it B, tan? Or is it C, black?
Well, first of all, it's clear because it's a ghost.
Things can be transparent and still have color.
I mean, I guess. You're talking about like a gel for a light or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say you said white, tan, or black, right?
Yeah.
I'll say tan.
You're incorrect.
Oh, God damn it. I have to scroll up, Leah. Hold on. It's fucking app. Excuse me. What color was it?
It was a white dog.
Of course it was. The easy one. Do you want a shot of this too?
I don't.
Okay. Just making sure. Just asking.
Good.
Just checking.
So the earliest actually recorded sighting of this particular entity, the ghost hound of Goshen, happened in 1855. A man named William Hardy was sort of a rich dude in the area, and he had a bunch of slaves, like you do, in the area at the time. Are you okay?
Ooh, that's rough. Whew. That cinnamon goes straight up your nose. Hot damn. It tastes really good, but whew.
Your sinuses are nice and open.
I have heartburn. Oh, okay.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. So William Hardy was a plantation owner in the area, and he had someone in his household was very ill. So he sent one of the slave boys that was on his plantation to go get the doctor. So he puts the slave boy on a mule, and the mule heads out. Well, the boy and the mule head out towards the doctor. So they get to the home of Dr. George Douglas, who was the doctor in the area, and the boy says, hey, this is what's going on. Only the thing is, he had been attacked by this ghost on his way from the plantation to the doctor's house. So the kid was so freaked. What did I say?
The ghost dog, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure there's not another ghost that I missed.
No, just the dog. So the doctor gets the kid calmed down enough to hear what he needs, what's going on. And so the boy was on this mule headed towards the doctor's house, and he starts hearing this awful growly noise from behind him. And he looks back and he sees the biggest, whitest, shimmery transparent dog possible. It's freaky. He's terrified. And so the kid is obviously terrified. And so he like kind of kicks the mule into high gear. I don't know how to...
Yeah, mules don't really move that well. Like a mule in high gear is like fucking shit. Ugh.
It's really not. If you've ever been to a mule day,
No, I've never been to a mule day, Leah. What the fuck is a mule day?
Okay, tangent time. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
There is, there are a bunch of mule days, but the mule day around here is in Eider, and it's where people that have mules... It's
Eider,
like
Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a festival centered around mules, and people that own mules, they have matched pairs of mules, pulling buggies, mule rides. But I mean, it's like a festival, so there's food trucks and there's vendors, and it's just like a festival. But it's called Mule Day, and there is a mule parade, and there are pictures of me and my brother at Mule Day when we were very young children.
Of course, your family went to Mule Day. I'm
Back in the
surprised.
90s, man.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
The 90s was prime Mule Day time. That was when Mule Day was at its best.
Lots of Confederate flags, lots of weirdness. Yeah. Not sure I would recommend, but I've been to Mule Day.
It's like, and it's not because we just watched a video about it, Leah, even though it's going to seem like it, but it's like Saturday Night Live. The best time to go to Mule Day was in the early to mid 90s. It's the exact same thing. Ever since, it's just been going straight downhill. But Mule Day had some great online content in the mid 2000s.
The only thing I honestly remember about Mule Day was I got my first marionette at Mule Day.
Oh, okay.
Is that weird?
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Was it a mule?
No. It was like a weird fuzzy bird.
Oh, they call those mules.
No.
When they're on marionette strings.
No, it was like a local craftsperson that made those. You've seen them, like the walking bird marionettes.
Yeah, probably.
That are made out of like marabou feathers. But anyway, I got one of those, and that was my first ever marionette, and that's really one of my only memories, other than just seeing a bunch of mules of Mule Day.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's get back to the story.
The point of you telling that story was to tell me that mules can move fast. Did you see like a mule race at Mule Day?
They do some of that, but I was just talking about in the parade, like they move along at a fast clip. It's not, they're not the stubborn, just...
They don't saunter.
No.
They're not sauntering mules.
A mule moves perfectly fast. It's fine. Probably not as fast as a horse, but it can pull more than a horse, which is the point.
They're strong.
Yes.
Oh, good God, Leah.
I'm sorry. We went on a fucking mule tangent. I went on a mule tangent.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I did not go with you on that tangent. I was here. I was alongside your tangent. I went on a walk with you.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
We sauntered.
We did. Anyway, so the boy is like, look, there's this big ass white dog. It was a ghost. It was snarling at me, scared the mule, scared me. We're not cool with it, and I'm not leaving here by myself. And he was like, oh, are you sure? Because, it's really late. And anyway, so the doctor...
Oh, shit. I have so many burps. I'm sorry.
The doctor ends up, getting back on the road with the kid, obviously, because he's supposed to go treat whoever's sick at the house.
And the mule?
Yeah, and they get the mule, they head back that way, and they encounter it again on their way back. Okay. So that the doctor's experience was the first recorded experience of this ghost hound. So yeah, that's not great because ghost dog sounds scary. But anyway, and obviously, I think you would think, oh, it's a ghost dog. It's going to be a sweet little ghost dog. Yeah. This is not a sweet little ghost dog. This ghost dog is pissed the fuck off that this town murdered his person.
Yeah.
And kind of pissed off that possibly either let it starve or stoned him to death. So, this is a dog with a vengeance. There's a vendetta against this town in this dog's life. So, just bear that in mind.
That sounds really cute, though.
Yeah.
Vengeful dog. It just sounds really cute.
No, sounds a little scary to me.
I mean, it kind of sounds like a horror movie, but, it's also just like, oh, look at you. You're so sad.
Then there was another a recorded story of another doctor, not the same doctor.
Okay.
This doctor's name was Jim Cofield, and let me try that again.
Okay.
There was a record of him
We'll cut that out.
meeting the dog as well. So he had his own dog, and he would walk alongside his master, Mr. Dr. Jim.
What? Mr.
Dr. Jim? I am stone cold sober too, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know what my fucking problem is.
Was he like Robert Bentley and he changed his name legally to Doctor? Is that what you're thinking?
I don't
what you're
think
having
so. I'm
problems with?
sorry.
Y'all, I'm going to tell you real quick.
We've already heard this story.
Well, I'm going to tell if we have anybody new. Alabama had a governor until like last year, maybe, who was in like a sex scandal. But he was a doctor, a legitimate doctor.
Like 4 years.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Shit. Oh my God. But anyway, he was a doctor, and then he decided to run for governor, and he changed his name on the ballot. Well, he changed his name legally to Dr. Robert Bentley so that he could appear on the ballot as Dr. Robert Bentley, and therefore earn more votes.
Also, just never listen to those sex scandal tapes.
Oh, they're hilarious. Goddamn.
Awful, uncomfortable, just the least sexy
He's
sex
like
that you've
76 when he's doing it, too.
I don't give a fuck. Like, it's just the audio tape of that situation is the most uncomfortable.
Don't touch your breast. He says stuff like that. It's wonderful.
Gross.
It's wonderful. Oh
Vomit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's awesome. But now we know that doctors are evil and part of the deep state. So that would be a political suicide move if you did that now.
Yeah, it's a pretty good thing that he is
he got
eligible for being the governor anymore.
Right, he got it in a few years ago. So don't worry though, he got arrested for stealing money too.
Yeah, he was impeached. That's why we have Nana.
No, he resigned.
Oh, I thought he
resigned.
Impeached.
He was going to be impeached. He resigned.
Oh, he was on the way though.
He resigned because he was getting arrested.
Yeah,
but
what are you gonna do?
Anyway,
now we got Meemaw as the governor, and it's
Dr. Governor Robert Bentley. No, sorry, Governor Dr. Robert Bentley.
Yeah.
Because his name is legally Dr. Robert Bentley.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my name to Supreme Leader Mitch Lawrence. Therefore, when I get on the ballot, it's like, well, I have no choice. Got to vote for him. He's already there.
That's a weird tangent. Can I complete this?
No, let's do the mule thing again. That was a much better tangent.
I liked the mule tangent better.
Yeah, I know you did because you got to fucking do things.
Y'all vote in the comments. Mule tangent or governor tangent?
We're going to put up a poll. Governor Robert Bentley.
Or Mule Day.
Right.
Anyway, I apologize. Let's get on with the story.
Okay.
All right. So Dr. Cofield is walking his own dog in this area down the street, getting towards the Ebenezer Cemetery. And that's where the dog generally appears because one would believe that is where his master is buried. So his dog would walk alongside him until they get into this area, and then the dog just pieces the fuck out because it wants nothing to do with that ghost dog, and it would only rejoin him on the walk after just sort of super duper ducking around this area where they've seen the ghost dog.
Super duper ducking
out.
A whole other level.
The dog just completely refused to walk through that area because they had seen the ghost dog previously, and he wasn't about to take chances because he was a good boy.
Was he?
I don't know.
He wasn't a ghost, was he?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a good boy.
So in 1936, there was another sighting of this dog, ghost dog. There's a man named Barry Sanders, and he was
the running back.
I don't think so.
It won't make sense to you, but he was a running back in the NFL for a very long time.
In 1936?
No, it was a lot longer.
Yeah, so probably not.
Okay, go ahead.
So he was headed home, and he was just walking down the street at a leisurely pace, having a great time, just on his way home.
Yeah, as you do.
He was about a mile away from his house when he sees this ghost dog, and this ghost dog sees him. And they don't get along too well. Yeah, it was like a...
Oh, that's funny.
And so the dog starts chasing him, and he starts running, and he runs, 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 and he runs,
and he runs, and he runs, and he runs, and he runs, and he runs, and he runs, and he runs. Are we singing?
No, we're not.
There was a rhythmic thing to that.
And then he finally makes it to his house, and as he turns, he sees the ghost dog sort of disapparate, like kind of mist away.
Yeah.
And so he made it home, and he's fine, but I bet you he was tired, because that is a long way to run when a ghost is chasing you.
Is it? I don't know that there is a limit on, how long I would run if a ghost was chasing me, especially if it's a ghost dog.
I give it half a mile. If I have to go further than half a mile,
you could not make it half a mile.
I could
running.
too.
I couldn't. Fuck that.
Not running fast. My speed. Look. Look, running is subjective to which person we're talking about.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt running and me running are not the same thing.
Well, come on, Leah. Like, can we have a realistic comparison? Jesus Christ.
Normal people running and
there
me
we
running.
Go. Just say normal
same.
people. Thank you. Good God. Don't compare yourself to the fastest man that ever lived.
That's what I'm saying. It is a
Leah.
spectrum of speed, and I am at the bottom. From turtle to jackrabbit, I'm the turtle. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, I understand.
There's a spectrum of speediness, and I am not at the top.
Good God.
Yeah,
you're not the turtle, but you're goddamn close.
I am fucking the turtle, for sure.
You might be the sloth or somewhere near it, but, I mean, which one moves slower, turtle or sloth?
The sloth. The sloth will stay as stationary as possible for as long as possible.
Okay,
it only comes down out of the trees once a week to piss.
Yeah,
That's
well then you're definitely the turtle then. You were right.
Thank you.
You win. You win this time.
Anyway, there were some other sightings in the 70s of people encountering this ghost dog, and it sort of jumps at them and freaks them out. And then when you try to go back and find it, it's not there, ghosty doggy kind of stuff. There are I've seen more recent sightings of the dogs on a Facebook group. People, like I said, always in this area, walking past, and then they're freaked out by this dog, and then they realize that it's kind of see-through, and they're freaked out even worse,
doggo.
and they run away. That's about it. There is a ghostly doggo hanging out in South Carolina. So if you want to see him, there you go.
Yeah. Go for it, I guess is what Leah's saying. Go see through the doggo. Right?
Precisely.
Yeah, nice. Oh, well, that was a fun story. Like, you were right. That was a fun one. Because it's just a ghost dog. I mean, he hasn't hurt anybody, right? He just scared some people.
I was going to say, he scared the shit out of a few people, but I don't think...
Yeah. Well, wouldn't he be a poltergeist if he was able to hurt people? Is that wrong? We've had this conversation, and I just don't know.
Not necessarily. A poltergeist is a very specific set of criteria of things that they can do.
Right.
But generally speaking, if it's mischievous and can move things, physically interact with the corporeal world, it's generally a poltergeist.
Oh, God.
But it could also be a regular ghost or a demon or anything else that's inhabiting a physical body and can interact with the corporeal world that way.
Right.
There's lots of different ways that ghosts can fuck your shit up, is all I'm saying.
I don't want to know
folklorically speaking, now, I will say that that's not where my beliefs lie, but in the grander folklore spectrum of things.
Do any of them pee so that they can make pee videos for the internet?
There's some interesting yokai in the Japanese folklore.
Leah, we've got to talk about your detection of sarcasm because, I'm very interested in what you're about to say, but this is not where I was going. It was supposed to be, of course not, shut your fucking mouth. Let's move on to the second story, but go ahead.
Okay. So,
all right.
We'll probably have to save this for a Patreon exclusive episode about yokai.
Which we need to do, by the way. Mm-hmm. Just letting everybody out there know.
I'm pretty sure we owe them 2 already.
Yeah. We'll do 3 shortly.
Yes. I have notes for several of them. We just have to put them out.
Yeah.
But the yokai are sort of like spirits in Japan, like different entities, and there's a bunch of different really weird specific ones, and I'm pretty sure if you looked hard enough you can find one involved with P. That's all I'm saying.
God, Leah.
Because there's a yokai that, like, it's one of my favorite stories in the world, but like it has an eyeball in its butthole, and that's its whole thing, its whole shtick.
Yeah, didn't somebody post that on the community chat not too long ago? I don't know if it was Japanese though, but
no, it's all the yokai, or
right.
That's the part
of
it.
Oh God, I remember that, and I was like, I'm strangely attracted to this.
No, I mean, like, there are so many incredibly specific yokai that are just chef's kiss, like
God.
weirdest bullshit that I just love it. I love it so much, and I think we're gonna have to just do an episode about that, just talking about my specific favorite ones. But
yokai is.
I would say I had actually read about that particular yokai before he posted it, but I had never seen that image, and
that image got me. I was like,
fantastic.
I looked at it and like my right eyebrow went up about 3 inches. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to look this up. I never did, but now I'm like, I'm probably going to. Yeah, no, there's one that like just comes up, and its whole thing to haunt people is like it licks the soles of people's feet. It's fucking weird, and I love it. But anyway, we'll talk about that. That is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Just like just like stealthy licking the soles, but like specifically the soles.
Yeah, just the soles.
Like
of the
in
feet.
the arch.
Like just the whole thing.
Oh God, I'm not into that one. Yeah, not as much. I mean,
there are more normal yokai as well, but like the ones that are my favorite are the freaky ones. But,
more normal yokai. Good God.
All right, so are you ready for story number 2?
Yeah, I'm trying to look up who posted that thing because I think it was someone specifically. I don't want to give him a shout out for posting the butthole eyeball. But, yeah, I mean, go ahead while I look.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to stop you.
All right. We are going to the great state of Tennessee, and we're talking about another cemetery haunting.
Okay.
Kind of. Because the cemetery's not really there anymore, and that's kind of the problem. So, this is a story that happens, it's a little outside of the metro area of Nashville.
Okay.
It's a place called Pegram, Tennessee, but it's basically the greater metro area of Nashville. It's just a small part of it, close to the river. So the Pegram Family Cemetery was an old cemetery. There's not a lot of records of when it started being a cemetery, but it was a fairly well-established cemetery. Lots of burials, etc. Normal cemetery stuff. Okay. Until, around the 70s. A lot of people weren't taking care of it as well. There weren't many ongoing burials at the time. People weren't keeping it up very well. It was starting to deteriorate. And it being in the greater Nashville metro area, the land in that area is at a premium. Just because it's a major city, lots of housing. It's expensive as fuck to get anything in Nashville. So, it's a pretty good investment at that time to buy any of the land that was available around Nashville proper. Mm-hmm. So a group of developers in
Makes
the 70s
sense.
come in and they said, yeah, let's get all this fucking land. And all of this fucking land included a pretty big swath of it that included the Pegram Family Cemetery. Mm-hmm. Now, they completely razed this stretch of land. They took down all the trees, all the everything to build a subdivision. And it was by the Harpeth River. And it was kind of in a flood zone, but not bad. Like, some of the edges of this subdivision might have been in a floodplain, but for the most part, it was going to be okay. Mm-hmm. But they completely tore everything up. And when they purchased this land, they knew there was a cemetery on it. And according to the laws of the state, you have to basically remove any burials and relocate them in a proper place. And you have to do it very specifically and all that. Now, the thing is that they did relocate a few of these burials. But it turns out it's really expensive to properly exhume caskets and vaults and stuff like that from that time period, because I mean, the materials have been down there for so long, it's possible that the coffins were decaying at that point. Obviously, the bones were decayed.
Right.
All of that stuff. So it was a lot more trouble than the company thought it was worth to actually follow the law and move these bones like they should. So they told everybody, yeah, we moved them. No problem.
Okay.
They're gone. But it turns out they just, poured concrete slabs over the burials and were like, fuck it.
Yeah. That's the easy way out.
That is the easy way out.
I've been searching for this post for so long. I can't find it. I think Dalton posted it.
I think you're right too.
And if not, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to be like, hey, remember that butthole monster? Anyway, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I gotta stop looking, y'all. I'm too drunk. Okay. Continue with the story. Okay.
All right. So they also, when they were leveling things out, when they were, digging for the slabs to be poured and all of that stuff, they removed a bunch of dirt from that area that was the cemetery, and they sold it all over the county. So, there were little bits of bone fragment or whatever, and just this fill dirt that was left all over the county. So that's fun. And that'll come back later.
I don't think that's fun, Leah.
It's not, but it'll come back later. So just remember that point.
Okay. Because bones in the dirt. I got it. It's locked in.
So, about 5 years after they built the subdivision, it's called Harpeth Haven, I believe. But the river started flooding, and the river was rising real fast. And turns out this place was built in a little bit more of a floodplain than they expected. Because the river went up 30 feet, which is a lot for a river to go up.
Yeah, that's a shitload.
It's pretty bad. And while it flooded, a coffin just popped right on up out of that ground right there. Right in the middle of a man named Archie Greer's front yard.
Oh, God.
Now, he had just moved into this house. He thought it was a lovely house in a lovely subdivision.
For a minute.
And then it floods.
Yeah.
And God damn it, if there wasn't a dead person on his front lawn.
Shit, why didn't the realtor tell us about the skeletons?
Now, the coffin had the remains of a Mrs. Carrie Pegram Heath inside of it. Shot in the dark.
Oh, God, here we go.
Right. Mrs. Carrie Pegram Heath was a well-known local figure. What was her claim to fame?
Uh-oh.
Was she A, the first female mayor in Tennessee? Was she B, the first postmistress of the town? Or was she C, the daughter of a Tennessee governor?
I like the idea of her being the postmistress. That's my answer.
You're correct.
Yay, I got one. It's been a while.
She is, in fact, the postmistress.
Excuse me. You're going to take this, and it's going to be rough. So would you like for me to pause so you can get something to wash it down with? Okay. We'll be right back after these messages. When you're in need of refreshment, reach for delicious Ovaltine chocolate powder. Anybody remember Ovaltine? Well, it's back. Enjoy it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
And we're back. We hope you enjoyed those messages. Leah's got her something to drink.
I was a Nesquik bitch. I'm sorry.
We are ready to go. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my improv stylings of at the end going, enjoy it. I guess I should have added, you fuckers or something.
Drink it, bitches.
Yeah, you fuckers. Oh, how's that shot, Leah? Oh, yeah, up the nose, isn't it? Hey, chase it. That's what you got the drink for. Leah's sitting here in peril. Oh, I don't think she likes it as much as I do.
No, it's but it went up my nose.
My goodness, I gotta mark that, Leah. God damn it.
What?
Do you know what you said?
I didn't mean the D word.
Oh, good God, Leah. I can't believe what you've done.
Yeah, I apologize.
All right,
anyway.
Is there any chance you can speak to continue the story? Oh, yeah, it's rough.
Oh, it just hit my tummy.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to take another break. We'll be back after these messages. While Leah's on the toilet.
No, not like that.
I'll play you another Ovaltine ad.
No, have you ever taken a shot of something and you can feel it tastes like NyQuil going down to me because you can feel it when it hits your stomach.
Ovaltine chocolate powder.
Mitchell.
It's here to make your tummy feel better.
It's not.
Mix it with milk. Drink it as fast as you can. Your tummy will instantly feel better. And we're back.
We didn't go anywhere.
Not this time.
Also, now I want fucking chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Terrible.
We have syrup and milk. We don't have powder, though.
Sorry.
Anyway. Sorry, everyone. Yeah. Sorry to disappoint, listeners. Don't have any fucking Ovaltine or Nesquik.
We're adults. I'm sorry.
Speaking of, the Nesquik strawberry powder is real good. You ever try that?
I was never into strawberry milk, so no,
Yeah.
I've never.
Yeah, you're a
never had
weirdo.
that. Anyway, so back to the buried lady that popped up in the yard of
Okay.
Mr. Archie. What's his bucket?
Oh, it was a lady?
Yeah.
I feel like that could have been a shot in the dark. That would have been fun. What was the gender of the person that popped up?
Mrs. Carrie Pegram.
Oh. Well,
She
you
was
didn't
the
have to
first
tell me. You didn't have
female-
to say the... Oh, yeah, that's right. She's the postmaster. Leah, we took a break. I forgot what we were doing. Fucking shit.
First female mayor, first postmistress daughter. That
Right.
all gives away sex pretty.
Well, I forgot that's who. I forgot that's who we were talking about.
Anyway, yes. She was the very first postmistress of the town of Pegram, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh, damn, sorry, Carrie. We hate that you didn't get properly buried, like reburied when this whole thing was built. But you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna put you back in."
Yeah.
So they did.
Like in the same spot where
Yeah.
his house was?
Yeah, they just sort of
What?
like tucked her back in, just chunked her back under.
Well,
Like you do.
Jesus fucking Christ, Leah.
Well, they didn't assume that it was going to happen again, so it should be fine, right? Just tuck her down.
My thing is, like, don't they have to get the property owner's approval to do that now?
I'm sure they did, but
And
Archie
he said,
was like,
okay,
"Yeah,
put the
fine,
body
just-"
back in my yard? What the fuck is happening?
Well, that's where it came from. Put it
okay,
back where
if
it came from.
if it happens again, it's on you, Terry. Was his name Terry?
Archie.
Okay, I was close.
So anyway, when this body surfaced in the casket, obviously it was big news. People were a little bit disturbed by the fact that clearly this entire section was built on a graveyard because they didn't actually move the bodies like they were supposed to. And
Yeah.
the town basically discovered that the developers who were developing this project, this whole community, had basically decided to take the easy, cheap way out and just build slabs over everything instead
Yeah.
of digging
Leah's not making it.
digging basements and stuff down into the soil. And I mean, basements aren't really a thing down south anyway. For the most
Right.
part, the water table's pretty high. In a
And the
lot
ground
of
moves
spots,
a lot here,
yeah.
too. So
So to say, in a lot of spots in the South, you're not going to get a basement very often. It made sense that they had slab foundations instead of the other, but they specifically used slab foundations so they didn't disturb any of the things that they were trying to cover up. But anyway, the developers were found out, and they had to pay $500,000 in fines.
in that time frame's money?
Yeah, in the 70s. So it was a
Ooh.
lot. It was pretty bad for
Yeah.
them. But, don't fucking build your houses on dead bodies that you don't intend to
On an
actually properly dispose of.
Indian burial ground.
It was white people. It wasn't
Oh.
Indians.
Well, then nobody
It
cares.
was just...
Jesus.
It was mostly rich white people. So,
Yeah. I agree.
what are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get to that point eventually anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps getting buried that, like, we're just going to be like, it's going to be like landfills.
Yeah.
Just put a slab of stuff over it and let's go.
That's the thing, though. In like a lot of countries, that's exactly how it works. You basically rent a burial vault for 3 or 4 years until your body decays, and then they sweep the bones out, and you can either put the bones in the base of it. They can
I didn't know
cremate the
that.
bones. There's lots and lots and lots of places where you rent a burial space for 3 or 4 years, and then the graves are turned over after you decay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a great
if anybody's
idea.
actually interested in that topic, go to YouTube and look at Ask a Mortician. She has a ton of really cool, interesting
I was going to say another Patreon episode.
videos about, body disposition around the world. I find it very interesting. Some people obviously are creeped out by it, but I don't want to be buried in the ground because I don't want my ass popping up on Archie's lawn,
Well, beside that, I just think that it's super wasteful to bury people.
It's wasteful, and I don't like it.
It's a waste of land that
it's a waste of land. It's a waste of resources. It's putting toxic chemicals back into the soil if you choose to embalm your body. Like, don't pickle me. Just fucking burn my ass.
Don't pickle me.
Unless you're going to float me in a vat of Mount Olive pickle juice.
Oh, Leah.
Fucking leave me alone. Burn my ass up and let it be.
You have no idea how deep my desire is to pickle you. You have no desire. You have no idea. I have the desire. You don't have the desire. You don't even know, Leah. Oh, I'm going to make you a nice death brine. We're going to have some fun. Oh, Death Brine. I was in a band called Death Brine. Surprisingly, we played folk music.
I would so listen to Death Brine if they were a folk music gig. I would. Anyway.
Oh, God.
I feel that shot more than I feel like I should. Bless
it's 40%. It's a good shot.
Whew. Anyway.
It gets the job done.
Anyway, they paid their $500,000. They, it was done. They kept developing the area. The area is called Harpeth Haven. Apparently, it is an absolute shithole of a subdivision. Apologies to anybody that may or may not live there, but...
Oh, we have so many listeners that live in this specific subdivision.
No, but I mean, like, this entire town has had issues ever since this whole thing showed up. And a lot of people blame it on the fact that the cemetery dirt was scattered all over the place. They think it's cursed because all of these bodies were disturbed and weren't reburied on purpose. So not only did that one crazy flood happen, it happened again in 2010.
Oh shit,
so
really?
Another flood that was crazy like that occurred, and once again Miss Carrie's coffin just pops right back up.
Same one?
Same one.
Holy shit, I was going to say, this is on you, Terry.
Yeah.
This is what we talked about.
Archie, god damn it.
I keep forgetting its name. It just seems like something a Terry would do.
Fucking
Terry.
Fuck,
put it back in there. I don't care. Listen,
put some
Terry.
more dirt on top.
Listen, Terry, a body came up in your yard. Yeah, I mean, just put it back. Who cares? It's fine. Y'all didn't bother me none.
But anyway, they had to rebury her again.
Jesus.
They and it's not even that they say in like the local papers and stuff they had to rebury. They're like, they just had to push her back down.
They seriously just like one guy with his left arm just like
it's just like a weird Plants versus Zombies situation in their yard, and they just keep...
There's a lot of mud out there. It's just making the worst like Tupperware burp noise as he pushes it back in, just like... Leah, stop. That's disrespectful. You're the worst. I can't believe that you laughed at that.
But anyway, they buried her back down. She's still buried there in the first yard, in the first house in the subdivision. And apparently there's a fence around it now, so whatever. But
so it's fenced in for if it comes back up again?
Pretty much, what we're saying? I think, yeah. But like they all basically think that because of all of this, the entire area is cursed. Yeah. And there's some paranormal happenings that go along with the thought that they're cursed. So not just the crazy floods, but also basically everything in the town doesn't seem to work very well. They built a brand new sewer and it like is fucked up all the time.
Well, if it floods like crazy, I mean, obviously your sewer's not going to work.
That was my thought as well. I was like, that's not paranormal. That's just hydrodynamics, but whatever.
Oh my God, Leah, just say it floods. Nobody knows what hydrodynamics means. Well, I won't say nobody. I don't know. Leah, know your audience. Fucking shit. And by that, I don't mean the actual audience. Shit. I mean me. Like, I'm the audience. That's the point of the show. I don't know hydrodynamics. I don't know what that means, Leah. You've hurt my feelings.
Do you know what aerodynamics is?
I mean, I understand. It's a word I've heard. I know that. It's a word.
Okay, just how the physics of water work.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I'm in.
We're good.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway,
That was a close one.
But the town has had lots of issues with fires, like weird fires. So the supermarket was like brand new. They had just built it. Mysteriously couldn't find a reason why I burnt the fuck down. Just done.
Didn't they have enough flood water around?
Right. And some areas of the place that wouldn't normally lie in a floodplain flood even when they shouldn't be flooding. Like, just because of the level of the river, you can kind of map out where things should hit and what's going on and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Houses that shouldn't have any water in them at all, just with the river level, could be filled with 3 or 4 inches of water inside. You know what I mean?
Again, I don't think this is exactly
it's not
scientific.
It's not as paranormal as you're hoping with a story like this.
I don't think it's creepy to go, my house isn't supposed to flood and it's flooding. It's like, well, mine's not either, but if it gets high enough, it's gonna flood.
Damn, if it gets high enough to flood our house, we're fucked.
I mean, we're on top of a hill, but what I'm saying, Leah, pretend we're not in our specific house.
I'm waiting on that ark to float by if it floods.
Is that we're down the hill, all right? We're at one of the houses down the hill. And we go, the realtor told us it would never flood here. And then it does. And then we go, it's a ghost. It's a problem.
The realtor was a lying jackass.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to say the water shouldn't get there is not a smart thing to say.
Okay, but anyway.
The water will get there if it gets there.
Once again, with the fires, a lot of the times that if they have a fire in town, the fire department puts it out and then the fires reignite. And they've had a bunch of issues with fires reigniting when they shouldn't after they've been put out,
Again, I think the town just has a magnifying glass hanging over it.
And then a lot of people. So I went into different forums. So like there are the haunted places forums that talk about these different specific areas. I found a couple Reddit posts just having people personally that have lived there, just talking about the different property. A lot of them say that you can still find tombstones sort of and pieces of tombstones scattered around the river where they kind of just like left them when they were developing them. They say that it is an actual super shitty place to live because there's only one road in and one road out. But that one road at the beginning of the subdivision is crossed by a railroad track. And a lot of the times there'll be a train or a train stopped on the tracks and you literally can't get in. You can't get out. The buses can't get the kids from school to school. Like, it is a fucking nightmare. They said, like, there are lots of reasons that it could be depressing to live in this place that might not be paranormal in nature. It's just my point.
It just sounds like there's a lot of racists around, but we kind of live with that one. We accept that one.
We got that one a lot. Yeah. But a lot of people talk about how they'll hear voices in their home when obviously no one is there. They experience some, mild haunting phenomenons, having things go missing, doors shutting randomly.
Oh, I thought you were going to say doors going missing. And I was like, okay, now we can talk about some supernatural shit.
Just slamming doors.
Came home from work, my door was gone.
There were also some stories of people alluding to the fact that there was a lot of crazy shit that happened in this neighborhood, but I couldn't find anything that actually corroborated some of the stories. So some people are like, yeah, we had a neighbor that just randomly got possessed and shot someone, okay. Like that kind of thing. But like,
that's not funny.
For the most part, most of the stories that I found, instead of being like super sensational, were just people saying, it feels bad. It feels like a vortex of bad energy. It's awful. And once again, if I lived in a place that I had to battle a goddamn train every day, I'd be a little pissed about it too.
Hey, sometimes there's a train in Hartselle that keeps me from getting places.
Babe, I get it. I have lived in this town all my life next to the goddamn railroad tracks. I know what we're talking about here, but at least there was a bridge over. There were ways around. Yeah. It was annoying, and it's very time-consuming to get around, but at least that's an option. In this place, there literally is no option. There's one road in, one road out, no bridge.
I get it, but like, it's 2020. Build another fucking road. Like, this isn't supernatural, you know? I know we're not saying it's it. Anyway, my point is, build another road.
Yeah.
Like, if nobody will do it for you, just figure something out.
Just ramp it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, God, fuck yes. Imagine the amount of YouTube followers you could get for being like, another truck ramp today, jumped another one. You're the Evel Knievel of... Where's this? Where are we talking about?
Tennessee.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I mean, think about it that way. You could get so many views.
And
Leah.
what if you got like some ghostly orbs or something? Like
Right. You know, what if while you're recording, you also get other fun shit that happens?
Exactly. So anyway, that's all I'm saying is there is a place in Tennessee that got paved over a cemetery, and this lady keeps popping up.
It's
and
the same lady, though. Yeah, that's upsetting.
Yeah, same lady. So it happened in the 75. It happened in 2010. So next time it floods, we'll be hearing about old Carrie.
Yeah. I don't want to, though. I don't want to hear about her.
I'm sorry.
Well,
you probably won't, because
she was the first postmistress, though.
She was.
That seems like she should have a fun story involved in her life. Do you know anything about her?
No, just that she just keeps popping up.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
All right, well, that's all I had.
Well, that was a great second story as well. 2 not bad ones this time. 2 fun ones.
2 not bad ones.
No, by that, I didn't mean it the way it sounded. I meant not violent or scary or, you know, anything like that. One was a fun ghost dog.
No one's getting murdered or anything.
Right. Nothing bad.
The guy got hung in the first one, but it wasn't the focus of the story.
Yeah, exactly. Who gives a shit?
It was backstory for the dog.
Right. Which, you know, if you can make anything out of your life, be backstory for a dog, if nothing else.
Sometimes I feel like we're background characters for our dog's grand adventures.
Oh my God, Leah, why have we not made... Like, you could write a stage play about that. I've actually thought about that myself. Let's write a musical. No, we talked about this years ago.
We've talked about this a lot.
It's been a long time, but I just remembered you and I have talked about this a lot.
We sang the songs.
Right. We didn't full on write them, but we had some ideas of writing a stage musical from the point of view of our dog Samus.
Yeah. About
all the bullshit that we do. And then she's like, you know, she's super confused about everything. Oh my God, Leah, let's do that. Let's put it on YouTube.
I have so much shit going on. I don't know.
That's not important.
Do that. Okay.
Fuck the rest of that. We got it. I'll take over. I'll do the writing of the Samus musical.
Yes, write Samus the musical.
Yeah. Y'all, and it's one of those that's like, you know, it's like Panic at the Disco. It's Samus with an exclamation point, and then the musical. That's what it's called.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, you would, because you wouldn't have a fucking choice. But, like, we're going to have to workshop it. We need some folks to come in and, you know.
If anybody knows some good writers.
Yeah. I didn't say anything about writers, Leah. We need performers to do the material for us so we can see how it looks. And we need one of you to be in a dog costume. Like, I know some of you out there have furry costumes. Show up for the casting call. We'll talk about it.
Sweetheart, I costume professionally, so I think you should let me take care of that.
Well, no, I'm not worried about it. I'm saying show up, like, show that you are committed to being Samus in Samus the musical.
Oh, okay. So, like, that you...
Right. You show up to the audition in costume. Right.
Okay.
You have already gone fully into the method of being our dog.
Yeah.
And then you get there.
She licks her vagina a lot, just FYI.
You better be nimble. That's all I'm saying. Nimble and flexible. Because she's got some long legs, and she will run, and then she will sit down, and as Leah said, lick her vagina.
Also, you have to be okay with slaughtering rabbits, because she does that occasionally. She's killed
so many rabbits and squirrels. You don't have to be okay with it. You have to be able to act like you're okay with it. Leah, don't make this worse. You have to embody the character. That does not mean that you need to come in eating a live rabbit. Don't do that. Or a dead one. I'm getting ahead of everything here.
Samus the musical.
Yeah, don't eat a rabbit in our presence, because our dog already does it. And you don't need to. You can bring like a snack or something and be like, this is a rabbit, by the way. I'm eating it.
Just some gushers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not funny.
It's hilarious. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but that was funny.
I'm the arbiter of the comedy for the Samus the Musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you noticed.
I think we need to get a toast.
Surely.
I think it's time.
Everybody hoist your ginger pail high into the sky.
Ginger pail.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you have a ginger ale. Okay.
We're toasted.
Okay.
If you're walking round in Goshen, you better bring a bone, or the ghost hound of Goshen is gonna chase you home. Houses are built on antique graves. They barely tried to mask it, and now each time it rains a bunch, they get a floating casket. Drink.
Okay. I'm with you, but I think you said the ghost town is going to chase you home. Did you?
Ghost hound.
Ghost hound. That's where I was confused, because I heard ghost town.
Ghost hound.
Hound with a D. Enunciate. By the way, if you're in Samus the Musical, you have to enunciate. You have to project. We need professionals that are involved in this.
Enunciate your consonants. Round out your vowels.
Don't do that. We're going for off-Broadway first, and we're going to make it onto Broadway, which when theaters open again. This may just be a YouTube performance.
This may be just a bullshitting kind of performance.
The best part is at the end of every show, we bring out the real Samus to fucking acclaim. Everybody is so excited to see her, and then she's freaking out because it's loud as fuck in there, and she's going, "Get me the fuck out of here! I hate this, every bit of it." But she also absorbs all the attention, and she loves it.
Yeah,
because she's a good girl.
She is a good girl.
And then Dobby's in there, but he's he's a minor character.
Yeah.
So we need one of you to audition for Dobby too. If this isn't reason enough to tell your friends about the podcast, especially your actor friends, get the word out there. Let them know. And if they want us to put on the musical, we need more patrons to get the money to make the musical. Everyone. Because we're going to have to hire everyone to do the work. Like Leah and I are taking producer roles in this, and we're going, here's the idea. Fucking figure it out.
Oh, bless it.
All right. Sounds good.
Well,
I guess we're done. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, everybody. Thank you so much for being here this week. And like I said, get on patreon.com/Southern Spirits Podcast. Give us some money for liquor. Mostly liquor to get more ideas of Samus the Musical, or like Samus the Musical. Right?
Yeah.
That's all we need. Send us an email, southernspiritspodcast@gmail.com. Send us a postcard, P.O. Box 1743 in Hartselle, Alabama. And I think that's it, Leah. Did I get everything?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I had to burp again. I'm so sorry. Well, I guess that's it, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Let's do it one more time. Leah, go ahead.
Bye, y'all.
Okay, good. Bye.